Good morning, Endeavour, and a special good morning to you today, Sandy.
And good morning, Shannon. I want to thank my family for that music, and I'm looking forward to moving into my new home today. And good morning to everybody in Houston.
That wake-up music was Start Me Up, performed by the Rolling Stones. It was played for mission specialist Sandy Magnus. That wake-up call begins a very active day on board the International Space Station, aboard Endeavour actually, including rendezvous and docking with the station.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're looking at downlink television from the International Space Station. A small but clearly discernible view of the Space Shuttle Endeavour as it closes in on the space station from about 9 miles away.
Houston, working final targeting.
Houston copies, final targeting.
This view from the International Space Station's external cameras showing both the Space Shuttle Endeavour and the Moon. Propulsion Systems Officer reports a good burn underway and good control. We had a good look at it from the International Space Station's camera when the burn kicked off.
Good burn, Endeavour, no trim required.
Copy.
Steve Robinson reporting a completely good burn for the terminal initiation of the rendezvous sequence with Endeavour and the International Space Station. Endeavour now on the final leg of that journey. This is a view of the relative motion plot of the Space Shuttle's approach to the International Space Station, one that is of use to the flight controllers here in the Houston control room. The International Space Station is the target in the crosshairs in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, and the yellow line is the progress of the Space Shuttle Endeavour toward that target. These pictures coming to us from the external cameras on the International Space Station. Expedition 18 Commander Mike Fink and Flight Engineer Greg Shomatoff on board the space station getting ready to take pictures of the shuttle as it does a slow backflip once Chris Ferguson brings it within 600 feet, and lighting conditions are ripe for that rendezvous pitch maneuver. Good close-up of the Leonardo multipurpose logistics module with all that equipment that's going to allow 6-person operations aboard the International Space Station tucked inside.
That they'll be ready for RPM initiation.
Okay, thanks for that, Houston. On the big look.
This is a sequential still video image of the International Space Station, up close and personal. Endeavour just 600 feet away. The upper portion of your screen on that particular still sequential view was a Harmony module that Endeavour will be docking to.
When you got a moment.
Steve, when you got a moment.
In the center is a Destinate Laboratory module. And at the bottom is a Unity module which connects the U.S. segment of the space station to the Russian segment of the station. two large radiators on either side of those modules used to reject excess heat from on board the orbiting complex. Expedition 18 Commander Mike Fink coordinating with Endeavour Commander Chris Ferguson on the initiation of the rendezvous pitch maneuver that has now begun. Conditions all favorable to that photography burst that's going to document the condition of Endeavour's exterior hull.
Okay, great, thanks.
Endeavour Commander Chris Ferguson continuing to slightly increase Endeavour's altitude as he moves up in front of the International Space Station in the direction of travel. Currently at a distance of 450 feet. He'll move up to what's known as the velocity vector, or the direction of travel for the space station, and then slowly back into the pressurized mating adapter 2 docking port. This particular view looking past the Japanese experiment module known as Kibo, or HOPE, and its external facility berthing mechanism that is going to be the subject of some testing on the first spacewalk of the upcoming STS-126 mission. Also in screen is the Japanese robotic arm that'll be used to place experiments on that external facility once it's berthed there, and test different materials in the vacuum and extreme temperatures of space. And this is a view out the orbiter docking system centerline camera of Endeavour as it sights in on the pressurized mating adapter number 2 docking port on the end of the Harmony module. These are sequential still images coming to us from the Space Shuttle's telemetry systems. And now back with live television views from the external cameras on the International Space Station.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2. Just wanted to give you a heads up that we're getting close to docking, so we'll be following along with you in the Joint Ops book, Procedure 1.108, the PMA-2 arrival procedure.
And station copies. Thanks for the heads up, and we'll be joining you on Procedure 1.108. And we're standing by to step number 3. It looks like everything's configured on 1 and 2.
This is Mission Control Houston with a view of still sequential video of the pressurized bending adapter number 2 from the Orbital docking system centerline camera on Space Shuttle Endeavour as Commander Chris Ferguson closes in on his docking with the space station.
Station and Houston on the big loop, showing no flyout required. We are initiating final approach.
Houston copies.
And here's a view from one of the payload bay cameras on the Space Shuttle Endeavour, looking at the orbiter docking system's docking ring. That'll be the thing that makes first contact with the pressurized bending adapter 2. That spring-loaded and shock-absorbed docking ring will help dampen out the relative motions of the two vehicles when they make contact. And then the docking ring will be retracted so that a firm connection can be made between the two docking modules. At the top of your picture, you can see pressurized bending adapter number 2 with its docking target that is providing the cues for Ferguson as he maneuvers Endeavour ever closer. Five feet out. Estimated time of docking 1 minute. Contact.
On the big loop, capture confirmed. ISS is in free drift. 5 seconds. Copy. Station is in free drift.
Endeavour and station free drift is confirmed.
And so the Space Shuttle Endeavour docking with the International Space Station at 4:01 p.m. Central Time as the two vehicles flew over northern India near the Chinese border at an altitude of approximately 212 statute miles.
Endeavour Houston on the big loop. The team down here on the planet Earth wanted to compliment you on a well done, very nicely done, rendezvous and docking. It's great to see Endeavour dock with the International Space Station, and we can also pass that on for all the family ops going on in the viewing room behind us.
Hey, on behalf of Heidi and I, it's great to be back. I don't think there's anybody more happy to be back than Don, though. And I know that Shane and Eric and Steve are just happy to be visiting for the first time. And I know Sandy's happy to be at her new home.
Roger that, and there just might be some smiles on the other side of that hatch going on, too.
Yeah, I bet there are. Yeah, in fact, I don't know who's smiling more, Greg, myself, or Yuri. Can't wait to open the hatch, guys, and welcome you aboard. And very smooth, very beautiful docking, and you look clean and dry on the RPM.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch live television pictures from inside the Harmony module of the International Space Station as Commander Mike Fink of Expedition 18 on the left there and Yuri Lonchikov, the flight engineer on the right, begin hatch opening procedures, getting ready to open up the hatchway between the Harmony module and pressurized mating adapter number 2. The connecting tunnel now between it and the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Heidi Stephanician Piper on the opposite side of the Space Shuttle hatch, beginning final leak check procedures with that hatchway before opening it. The 10 individuals on orbit now getting ready to open hatches and greet one another and conduct a welcoming ceremony for the Endeavour crew aboard the International Space Station.
And Houston on Space to the Ground 2, we're wanting to know if you're getting NPC audio.
I'm getting reports that we are. I just didn't personally monitor it.
No worries.
As you can see, the hatches between the two vehicles are now open. That occurred at 6:16 Central Time.
Never arriving. Excellent. You guys are awesome.
1 day, 23 hours, and 21 minutes into Endeavour's mission.
Mike, Commander, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. You look awesome.
You guys too.
Yeah.
Man, that was so beautiful watching you guys come in.
Yuri.
Sandy, welcome to your new home. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Hey, a few words right after this, and then we're ready to go. All right. Shane, man, good to see you. Welcome to space. It took you long enough. Heidi, I was just thinking you the other day. We got your shoots already. Oh, yeah. Eric, you're in space, Colonel.
Awesome, buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're how are you?
The camera's right over there. Good to see you.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
I know you. How you doing, man? Welcome. Don Pettit, this is called a space station.
Wow. Hey, man. Good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you, man. Okay. All right, everybody. Shuttle crew, if you can get back there on that side. Okay. And station crew will stand here on the side because there's more of you. And we'll just say a few words to all of the people that helped us get here. And then we've got work to do. Sandy, you can stay on our side if you want.
Stay in the middle.
Yeah, there you go. Let's slide over your Welcome, Endeavour. You guys look awesome. It was a beautiful approach, beautiful docking. We're really glad you're here. We understand that this house is in need of an extreme makeover and that you're the crew to do it. We think we got everything ready for you. We're really glad to see you. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to space.
Hey, we figured we'd go for a 10-year anniversary party for the space station, so that's what we showed up for. We're looking forward to working on your house and making it look a little bit better when we're done. You guys are awesome. It's great to see you.
Okay, let's transfer.
Yeah. On to work. Man, this place just got smaller.
It's a view from cameras outside the International Space Station of those robotic arms that the crews are working to move at the moment. The larger one that you can just make out moving is the Canadarm2, the station's robotic arm. Another view of it. It's heading towards the orbiter boom sensor system, which is currently cradled along the side of Endeavour's cargo bay. It will be picking that boom up and handing it to its smaller cousin, the Canadarm, that is attached to the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Normally the shuttle arm can pick up at the orbiter boom sensor system itself, but when docked at the space station, the geometry of all the modules on the space station don't make that possible. Now joining in the Destiny Laboratory, Commander Mike Fink and Mission Specialist Don Pettit is Chris Ferguson, commander of the Endeavour, just floating out of view again. Pettit and Fink are still at the robotics workstation, commanding the movement of the Canadarm2. It's a view from cameras inside the shuttle's cargo bay. You can see the space station robotic arm, Canadarm2, just making its way to the point where it will pick up the orbiter boom sensor system along the edge of the shuttle's cargo bay here.
Houston State and Shuttle. This is station on the big loop, and we are grappled nicely. Good job, Dr. Pettit, to the OBSS.
You can see in this view from cameras on board the International Space Station the actual movement of the station's robotic arm as it pulls the orbiter boom sensor system out of the shuttle's cargo bay. This view you can also make out the shuttle's robotic arm, Canadarm, the larger one along the right-hand side of the screen is the station's robotic arm grappled to the orbiter boom sensor system and making its way toward the smaller shuttle robotic arm on the inside. At the bend in the arm there is the wrist joint of the shuttle robotic arm, and on the very end is the latching end effector that allows it to grab onto things like the orbiter boom sensor system. The top of the screen here is the latching end effector of the shuttle's robotic arm, just attaching to the orbiter beam sensor system that the shuttle is handing off to it. And teams here on the ground are reporting that the Space Shuttle robotic arm has a good hold on the orbiter beam sensor system that you can see in this view. You can see in this view the two robotic arms, which are both still attached to the orbiter beam sensor system. The larger one in the foreground is the station's...
On the big loop, we've ungrappled and are maneuvering away from the OBSS.
Station robotics arm is the bigger one that's attached to the Node 2 right now, and you just heard the crew report that they were ungrappling and releasing the orbiter beam sensor system, leaving it in the steady hands of the shuttle's smaller robotic arm, Canada arm, which is in the background of the photo here, with the long, straight 50-foot orbiter boom sensor system between the two.
Houston station on the big loop. We're pretty happy that we're out of the way. We see a slight difference in Z, but not a big one. And we're ready to go on to the next step to give control over to the shuttle.
Houston concurs. Looks good.
Yeah, Dr. Pettit's a great arm operator. So therefore, on the big loop for Endeavour and the station and for Houston, the RMS operator has a go for OBSS maneuver to MPLM viewing.
Endeavour copies. Thanks, Mike.
You can see here the shuttle arm being commanded by pilot Eric Bowe and mission specialist Shane Kimbrough, moving away from the space station robotic arm, out of the way for tomorrow's unberthing of the multi-purpose logistics module, but also ready for any inspection of the shuttle's heat shield that may need to be done as the teams on the ground take a look at the various imagery and inspection data that has been sent down from the station and shuttle on the shuttle's heat shield. View of the robotic arm from inside the shuttle's cargo bay as the shuttle and station orbit about 229 miles above the Southern Ocean, heading toward Australia. Service crew's been testing out a new high-definition video camera. That was some video taped earlier of the station, or the shuttle making its approach to the International Space Station. Shuttle docked with the station at 4:01 p.m. Central Time, and the Hatches between the two vehicles were opened at 6:16 p.m. Central.
Endeavor Houston on air to ground 2.
Yeah, go ahead, Mesh.
If someone's available, we have a bleed orifice we'd like to close on the mid-deck, MO69M.
MO69M, is that LEH 8?
A firm.
Okay, we'll close that for you.
Okay, great. And with that, we're ready to say goodnight. So we just wanted to say a great start today to the docked ops portion of the mission, and we're looking forward to getting the MPLM ops going tomorrow. And you guys have a good rest tonight.
Okay, thanks, Mesh. It's great to be here. We'll talk to you tomorrow.